Hello, it's Ken. Thank you for watching. This is a brief presentation on the tabernacle body study. And Moses' tabernacle in typology represented the human body, and also in typology it represents the heavens. And we're starting out in Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 5. Who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. In just a second, we'll actually look at the verses on the mount and see what they saw. But God is showing them on top of this mount how to build the tabernacle. And basically what he's done, he's brought down this large sapphire stone. And all the elders on top of this mountain. And this sapphire stone is kind of like a giant widescreen TV. And they're all looking down into it. And God shows them how to build the tabernacle. Basically, it's like Jesus Christ's throne coming down, something like that. In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, the cherubim bring down Jesus Christ's throne at the beginning of the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. And that sapphire stone, he's sitting on it and he brings it down. And so here in Exodus, it shows the sapphire stone. And they're looking into it, and God shows them how to build. And we'll look at those references in just a second here. Also, in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 24, the holy places of the tabernacle are described as figures of the truth. It says in 9:24, for Christ is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the truth, but unto heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us. Okay. Now also, Moses is shown the tabernacle before its construction. In Acts chapter 7 and verse 44, it says, our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. The fashion that he had seen is what he saw when he was on top of the mount looking into that sapphire stone. That's where he's seen how to fashion it. And then also the pattern of the tabernacle is also shown in the mount. It's kind of like the pattern of the blueprints that was shown to them when they were on top of the mountain looking down at that sapphire stone. In Exodus chapter 25, verse 40, it says, and look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount. And as far as how to erect or stand up, putting the tabernacle together, that's also shown in the mount. It says in Exodus 26:30, and thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof where was showed thee in the mount. As far as the construction of the tabernacle, Exodus 27 verse 8, hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. So, but God has got on top of the mountain. They're looking down on this widescreen TV, and he's showing them everything. They're like having a seminar. He's showing them everything that they need to know about erecting this tabernacle. Now, in Exodus chapter 25, verses 8 and 9, it says, and let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacles, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And over and over and over again, God's showing them. It's saying that God is showing them in the mount how to put this thing together. Okay. Now, in Exodus chapter 24 and verses 9 and 10, we're on the mount now. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. Basically, they're looking in this giant sapphire stone, and they're seeing the body of heaven in his clearness. Remember, the tabernacle is a type of the human body, and it's a type of the heavens. And so basically, they're looking in this giant sapphire stone, but it's like they're looking down from the top of the heavens. They're seeing into it. And it says, as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. Okay, that's super interesting, very, very interesting. And over in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 1 through 4, I'd like to read that to you. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle, talking about your human body now, this is Paul talking about your body, were dissolved, we have a building of God, an house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we moan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. In other words, we want our new resurrected body. If so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened not, for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of light. This is Paul talking about getting our new tabernacle. Okay? But we dwell in a fleshly tabernacle at the moment. And again, remember, Moses' tabernacle is a type of the human body, and it's a type of the heavenly body. Peter, over in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 13, it says, Yea, I think it meet, as long as I am in this tabernacle, to stir you up by putting you in remembrance, knowing that surely I must put off this my tabernacle, even as our Lord Jesus Christ hath showed me. So you see that over and over and over again, where the body's likened to a tabernacle. In Job, if you'd like to check this out for yourself, in the book of Job, in chapter 18, verses 5 through 15, Job discusses the tabernacle of the flesh. This is in the Old Testament. And he's discussing the tabernacle of the flesh. So you see this in the Old Testament, and you see it in the New Testament. Over and over and over again. Now in the book of Job, in chapter 38, and verse 29, it says, Out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven, who hath gendered it? The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. This is talking about the heavenly deep. This is talking about the heavenly deep. And the universe is kind of like enclosed. It's kind of like enclosed with a shell, like a shell of water. And the outside of it's frozen. And you can never, ever see it from Earth, even with the most powerful telescope that you have, because it says it's hidden as with a stone. You can never see it. I don't care how modern the scientists get and the technology gets, God's never going to let you see to the very end there. And it says the waters are hidden as with a stone. There's water out there, but it's way, 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 way distant away. And I don't care how powerful a spaceship is, or rocket or whatever, they'll never reach it. They'll never reach it. It's just too far out there. It says the waters are hid as with a stone. They can't see it and they can't reach it. And this body of water, this shell of water, the outside of it's frozen. If you actually study this thing out, if you study the crystal sea in the book of Revelation, the crystal sea is this water. It's frozen. The shell on the outside, it's frozen. You could actually walk on it. And it says in verse 29, Out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven, who hath gendered it? Out of whose womb? Now here, it's likening the universe being born, like coming out of a womb. It's very interesting. Remember, the Moses tabernacle is a type of the human body, and Moses tabernacle is a type of the heavens, in the heavens. But this has been just a brief presentation, kind of an introduction on the tabernacle, Moses tabernacle, and its typologies to the human body and its typologies to the heaven. Hope it's been a blessing to you. Thank you very much for watching.